I'ma spit a written. Ah!
Hey, he finna spit a written.
I'm off that local. I'm on that global. I often have dreams of being locked in my mama's Volvo, watching the garage burn down. I'm off the Kodo. I'm off the top. I'm off Ciroc. I'm off the pot. I'm off a lot. They gave me 10 days off. That's an awful lot. I was off campus, but the officer told the office that he saw me from the parking lot. Yeah.
Chancellor Jonathan Bennett, aka Chance the Rapper, born April 16, 1993. From 2013 through 2017, Chance the Rapper was seen as a viable artist to one day take a seat on the throne of hip-hop. 2017 was his peak in popularity as he was the name to talk about after winning 3 Grammys. I remember Joe Budden around this time saying that Chance the Rapper will surpass Drake as the face of hip-hop, and I couldn't be more baffled. I think the reason he said that was because at the time when the industry was still Drake's, and what they loved about Drake was his seemingly clean image that provided hip-hop a safe vehicle to cross over into any market, making it easier for him to sell and for hip-hop to get major looks. Drake then had a child, one he was hiding from the world and not the world from his kid or whatever.
The nigga didn't hide his kid from the world, but his world wouldn't hide from the kid. Drake
lost the beef with Pusha T that embarrassed him more than anything, and this gave an artist like Chance the Rapper, who you can't find one more suited for the clean image rapper lane, a glowing light around him to be Drake's replacement. Only musically, I didn't think at that point Chance the Rapper was accepted enough to surpass the artist Drake was and is to be able to drive hip-hop into different markets and households for an extended period of time. Potential at one point, yes. When I first heard Chance the Rapper's acid rap, I remember feeling refreshed and that he was something different. Immediately, you could see how the industry would fall in love with his ability. He could sing, he could rap, he had a gospel soul vibe to him, and what stood out the most was he loved music to its core and was old school in the way he approached the quality of his music. Like a Lauryn Hill when she would go seclude herself in the atmosphere she wanted her album or songs to feel like just to create them. Chance felt he would give you that quality, that true artistry, pure lines that would one day be quoted in the book of hip-hop, and when you saw him perform back then, his love for music shined so bright you could see the potential draped across his sleeves. But in 2022, although he's in no way failing, he's not the artist I'd say many expected. He didn't become the next Lauryn Hill or close to it. His music didn't change the world at any point, or even hip-hop for what it was, as he never really grabbed the throne like expected, at least once in his career. It's like Derrick Rose in basketball, where he was so special early on and thought to for years own the title of best point guard in the game, only to have his career nosedive ever since for reasons out of his control. For Chance the Rapper, some of the reasons he hasn't quite met expectations were in his control and took him from expected great to just another rapper. A good one, not a great for these reasons. Let's talk about it. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth Music. Let's get it. Take a minute to like, subscribe, and comment on who I should do next. You can also send a super thanks by clicking the button below. Enjoy the video. Chance the Rapper is a Chicago native that first became interested in music through his parents playing various artists like Michael Jackson and Sam Cooke throughout the house, but credits Kanye West for sparking his interest to become a rapper. Growing up in the middle class of Chicago's South Side, Chance was able to receive a greater educational experience than you'd expect from that area through selective enrollment schools he'd attend and from his parents working in the government for and with Barack Obama, whom he'd meet as a youth. He'd enter and place favorable in local songwriting contests that led to his debut mixtape 10 Day being released in 2012 after being suspended from school for 10 days for marijuana possession. His sound was praised for its hints of soul, gospel, and jazz infused into his mostly uplifting music. 2013, he released his highly anticipated acid rap project to streaming platforms completely independent, which garnered interest from major labels looking to sign him, only to be turned down for Chance's idea of wanting his music to reach more people instead of making the most profit. Stunt number 1 should have went major. As mentioned, and likely will again in this piece, is Chance the Rapper isn't exactly a failed rapper. He's a 3-time Grammy Award winner with multiple nominations whose independent run should be praised for the accomplishments he's been able to receive and ability to compete with mainstream artists with major machines behind them. But has he really been able to compete? While everything said before is still valid, an argument could be made that Chance could have been a lot bigger than 3 Grammys and a few nominations. He was expected to change hip-hop with his sound and dominate for the indie artists looking to have their music reach the same heights as mainstream artists, making the quality of music once again be placed at the forefront of what's hot. A huge reason Chance has fell short of that is because he's independent and not capitalizing on the reach major label machines have accompanying their artists. Yes, it may seem like the sellout way to some, but at the end of the day, the best way to really change the structure of anything is being directly inside of it or in its path. To reach as many listeners as possible and to hold their ear long enough for them to believe in and eventually follow your agenda. That's how Chance could have changed hip-hop. Instead, he held on to being an independent rapper as a badge of honor and selling point that he's one of the ones who care more about the music than the profit. Only that is a contradiction, because in doing anything of focus, one will always desire compensation for their hard work. Why not be compensated at the top levels of your industry, all while they work for you to spread your music consistently in mass production and market it in a way that makes sense to your total package? A small example of this is his song No Problems, that had a gorgeous, soulful instrumental that was about labels trying to stop him from doing what he wished with his music, that to me just didn't fit Chance the Rapper's image or persona and makes no sense whenever I hear the song. It's his most popular song to date, featuring Wayne and 2 Chainz, and nothing said in it is of any substance outside typical bars about women, sex, money, violence, even from Chance, that while praised, never really moved me or the needle to him being the face of hip-hop. Great melodies, great instrumentation and soul sample, but underwhelming lyrics and direction, especially as it relates to the non-threatening, most likely harmless artist and person Chance the Rapper. Independently, he could put out a song like that. On a major, it could have been reworked and presented in a way that makes more sense. Major labels aren't for everybody, but an artist the caliber of Chance the Rapper could have been a black Justin Bieber of sorts in how well he could have sold, what he could have achieved, and the quality of his music presented in a better way. I can't stand that song, by the way. Stunt number 2, limited output. Another huge reason Chance isn't the rapper expected is because there's not much out there for him to be. Along with a few mixtapes like 10 Day, Acid Rap, Coloring Book, and just 1 studio album, there's too much time in between for his imprint on hip-hop music to fade away and the atmosphere and direction of rap change further away from him fitting in or standing out. He released his debut album 6 years after first gaining fame in 2013 and being named a XXL freshman a year later. His album, The Big Day, finally releases and debuts number 2 on Billboard, inspired by his marriage in 2019. It was the first time he charged fans for his music, stating he's given and still intends to give fans much free music. This time around, though, he requires their support. The album was met with mixed criticism that Chance, centering the direction around his marriage, watered down his lyrics and cookie-cuttered his sound to enhance said image. Personally, it sounded like a mediocre project that's made for the only black kid in a private school full of white kids, but he still wants to sound cool around his white friends. It wasn't the soul nor hip hop I expected from Chance and didn't have a single that cracked top 50. The album itself peaked at 60 on Billboard and was a flop by most reviews. Too bad this is still his only studio album release. Stunt number 3, Too Clean. I think Chance the Rapper has failed to reach all the markets we thought he would by now. One in particular is his own urban black market that view Chance the Rapper as a corny rapper, possibly industry planted by a figurehead with enough money to throw at Chance's career, solidifying his success. Black people don't bump Chance in the whip. Not any I know. Not that anything is wrong with that, because if he puts out a good song targeting that market that's genuinely done and not like No Problems, then maybe he could touch home base. Chance's appeal is to the middle class African American at best and is too clean to be championed by his own people, who are the ones that make rappers popular anyway. Sure, we'll sell to whoever, but it's still for us, by us concepts that push black artists. When we say you're hot, then it's okay for them to like and support you. Maybe it's the gray area Zuckerberg look he dons, or his speech that teeters the line between I'm from the South Side and I went to private schools that doesn't quite connect. All in all, Chance is still an accomplished rapper. He's just not what many thought he'd be by this point, and I agree. He never surpassed Drake, some like Joe Budden thought he would, and he never produced a project that captivated all markets, even once like he's talented enough to do. Achievements aside, for these reasons, his growth was stunted. It's your boy JC, Stunted Growth Music, and I'm out.